Hello?
Hello, Justin?
Hey, this is Justin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is Izzy from MMA Jam Live. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good in yourself. It's an honor having you on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem. We'll get right into it. At what age did you begin training in the sport, and what inspired you to do so?
I started training when I was 3. I started doing Kempo karate. Really, it was just, it's something that, my dad always thought would be good for me. And, we'd also watched a few UFCs and stuff, and, we found it really interesting. And, that was really the only route at the time we had to get into it. So, it's definitely a really good starting point there.
And now you were just basically like 2 years removed from basically learning how to walk. So you started at 3 years old. That's incredible.
Yeah. Like you said, I just learned to walk, and martial arts has always been a part of my life. So it's really been a lifestyle more than a sport.
Now, was there anyone in particular, as far as fighters go, was there anyone in particular that you looked up to before you began training in MMA?
Not. I mean, I had a lot of guys that I looked up to, in every sport. Boxing. It was Muhammad Ali. I always looked up to guys in each discipline. So, it was a collection of guys that I thought, had really good attitudes, along with being really good at what they did.
Now, you made your pro debut at the age of 19 on February 25th, 2012 at Conflict MMA Fight Night at the Point 4, and you knocked out your opponent 10 kicks by head kick at 25 seconds of round 1. Can you describe what was going through your mind before, during, and after that fight?
Before the fight, leading up, it's just a bunch of excitement. I'm always really happy to be stepping in the cage, but, during, I can't tell you what's going on in my mind, because it's just like being so in the moment that it's really hard to remember what's going on. So, and afterwards it's, just being happy again that, that you won and got the victory. So, it's hard to explain. Like, I'm happy, to be doing what I love and, fighting and stuff, but it's hard to explain the kind of feeling that I'm having during the fight, because it seems like it happens so fast, and because, you're really living in the moment.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And I can't imagine much can be going through your head after you won in 25 seconds, so I can't imagine there's much. I mean, you hear the bell, you start 25 seconds, well, less than 25 seconds later, you land that head kick, and it's pretty much over. Yeah,
it's just a combination of, him doing the wrong thing and me making, the most of every opportunity, whether it happens in 23 seconds like that time or whether it happens in the second round, third round. It's just that combination of taking advantage of what the guy gives you.
Definitely. Now before signing with the UFC, you went 7-0 with only 1 year and 5 months of professional experience, and yet people were already talking about you as a serious prospect. What does it mean to you to be garnering such high praise from fans and the media at such a young age?
It's really cool. I really appreciate it all. It's a really cool experience, and it's just a bunch of hard work, and it's nice to get recognition for it and to be able to reach out and, help other people and help maybe achieve their goals through what I'm doing. So it's really cool.
And you made your UFC debut recently against Richie Basilik on December 7th of last year at UFC Fight Night Hunt versus Bigfoot. You won via first round TKO. How would you describe your performance that night? And did you suffer from the so-called fabled UFC jitters?
I think that's all it is, the fable, UFC jitters. Some guys get nervous before fights. Some guys get really, really nervous before fights. Me, no matter how the fight's going, I take it like a fight. I know I'm going to go in there and perform the best of my ability, and I never do anything less than that. So, I know what I'm capable of, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people are there. I'm going to do the same thing.
Now, how would you rate your performance that night? Were you pretty satisfied with the way things went down?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I won in the first round. I was definitely satisfied.
Now, you picked up a unanimous decision win over Will Campuzano. By the way, congratulations on that. That was mighty impressive.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Now, as I mentioned, you picked up the unanimous decision win over Will Campuzano. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate that performance?
How would I rate my performance? I'd probably give myself a 7.
Yeah, I agree with that. I gave you a little bit higher. I think you just dominated every phase of the game, and it was very impressive to watch that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be my biggest critic, and I think that I there's times I got hit where I couldn't, I could have avoided it. There's times that I was maybe in a worse position and I could have advanced a little quicker, but that's the things that I got to improve on, and I'm lucky that I have things to improve on because that means I'm just going to get better.
I completely agree. Now do you feel as though you were able to implement your game plan, or do you feel like you were thrown off a little bit?
Well, I don't really go into a fight with a game plan. I mean, I go in there and, I have a well-rounded set of skills, and I can take the fight wherever it goes. So, I just train every aspect of martial arts, and I go in there and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do martial arts. I'm going to blend everything together.
Now, is it fair to say that that's kind of like the new breed mentality where all the younger guys coming up are just training all aspects of mixed martial arts, and they're just ready to take the fight wherever it goes, so there's really no need for a game plan?
Yeah, you need to know your opponent's tendencies and know what he's good at, and definitely be able to what's going on, but but that, like you said, it's that new breed of fighters that can take the fight, wherever you go, and it's how every fighter should be. You should definitely be well-rounded. You can't have one strength, or people are gonna learn to nullify it. So, we gotta evolve our game. We gotta be well-rounded, and we gotta give the people what they want to see, which is a well-rounded fighter.
Now, with that said, what surprised you, if anything, about your opponent, Will Campuzano?
He was super tough, man. I honestly thought I was going to go out there and finish him in the first round, and he took some really good shots, and he hung in there, and he's definitely a lot tougher than I gave him credit for. Now
I know this is just a joke, but I know they don't give out awards for walkout songs and stuff. But if they did, you're coming out to Happy and dancing along with it. You get the win in that one, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm just enjoying the moment, and I'm having fun out there.
Oh, you look like you were having a tremendous time, and that's what it's all about, basically.
Yep, absolutely. You got to do what you love, man.
Exactly. Now, after your win, you were interviewed by MMA Junkie, and in that interview, you mentioned that you knew you were going to be a champion someday. At 9-0 and 2-0 in the UFC, how close do you think you are to being in the title conversation?
I definitely, I think I'm, people are starting to notice that, I'm for real. I'm really here, and I'm here to stay. I'm not gonna put any time frames on myself, because that's what I have managers and coaches for. So, all I focus on is fighting the guy in front of me, and that's all I'm ever going to focus on is the task at hand, because, like I said, I know I'm going to be champion. I know that I'm going to be there at that goal. So all I need to do now is just enjoy the ride and take care of, live in the moment and take care of what's in front of me.
Well, as a guy that's an outsider, I can say that, at 125 pounds, the division as a whole is still fairly new in the UFC, and it's very thin towards the top. So I think that, with the next couple of wins and doing so impressively will put you right there in the mix, like Dana White likes to say.
Right. Yeah, I think so too, man.
Now, I read an article at Bleacher Report. It was basically a top 10 top young guns to watch list. In that list, you ranked number 3. You're essentially in top prospect mode now. What is it going to take for you to shed that label in favor of title contender?
It's just going to take time. It's going to take a couple, more fights, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with being the prospect. I'm fine with, it doesn't matter what label people want to place on me. I know who I am to myself, and I'm not too worried about what anybody says or whatever anybody wants to call me.
Good answer. Yeah, I mean, a top prospect. I mean, that's not the way I look at it. It's not really a bad thing. It just means that you're on everyone's radar right now.
Right.
Now, I realize you just fought this past Saturday, but when should we expect to see you back in the cage? Did you suffer any injuries or anything, or are you just pretty much good to go?
No, man, I'm 100%. I was actually back in the gym on Monday, training twice a day, and not as hard, but just I'm in there learning now and keeping my body in shape and keeping my weight under control. So I'm ready. I'm ready whenever. I'm in shape, and I'm ready to push it.
Definitely happy to hear that. Now, before we let you go, where can we find you on Twitter and or Facebook?
You can follow me on Twitter at Tank Scoggins MMA. I got an Instagram too. You can find me on there at Tank Scoggins UFC. And my fan page is up on Facebook, Justin Tank Scoggins. I really appreciate everybody out there like it, give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter, and let's keep moving towards the world title. And everybody's support definitely helps and pushes me there.